This is my town from the demo, where I tried to build an idyllic farming village, but it just wasn't completely possible in the demo version. But I've got great news. In the new early access release, as you just seen here before us, this beautiful hilly plains area, we can do farming finally. It's just a preview of what's to come. Look at this beautiful grapevines, the village vibe. Gonna finally build my dream village. Welcome townies to Fontaine. Now this is living. Let's get on to building our dream village. First I'm gonna lay down the main road. Just get a grid, more or less, because I'm just doing this out of my imagination. I'm gonna make a kind of plaza right in front of the train station. I want when guests or tourists or whoever comes here for the first time get wowed by the beautiful plaza park right in front of our little train station. And hopefully not the homeless people standing right in front of it. Hopefully they ignore that. I feel it's very important for a town or city to have a lot of public space where people can just enjoy and connect. I'm gonna try and put down our first homes, but this is gonna be futile, for I'm gonna have to do this quite a few times. Here I'm cycling through the different colors. I like to make like color-coded housing blocks, so I'm gonna go for a white in this block. Here I'm using the dirt path just to sort of measure out a front yard and a side yard for the homes. Yeah, I'm trying to line them up. As you can see, it is extremely painful. And you can't use the snap to path because it sort of angles and curves around the sharp corner, which I don't like at all. I'm noticing my mistakes here. Just to see, I haven't planned the grid out, but don't worry, I'm gonna fix it. Let's just remove this road because we need that side yard. Because I feel like it's important for people to have their own little area which they can cultivate and express themselves in. So this won't be public space. And it's a privilege, definitely, but this is a small town that's trying to attract young people, maybe like professionals, veterinarians, but people that can work the fields and farms and live the village life. See, trying to do the lineup thing, but don't worry. With my next attempts, I'll finally have the solution, the key to our problem. I've always liked the village lifestyle, even though I sort of live in a small town myself, but this town is crap because there's no farm really going on in the town itself, and it's just a bunch of factories, it's flat grasslands and poor air quality. So yeah, we've probably lived in some of the most ugliest part of my country. But anyway, continue on. I finally decided to do it like a pixel perfect placement, quotation marks. But yeah, I'm using the road to see when it disappears to move farther or closer, so we can line up things. And you can see it's working absolutely wonders. And here our first buildings finally go up in our beautiful village of Fontaine. Well, it's not a village yet, no one even lives in it, it's just a bunch of weirdos standing in front of the train station hoping to get a home placement. I like these new buildings they've added. A criticism I had of the demo, which was completely unfounded because it was a demo, is the fact there was only one house to play with. But now we've got 3, and this one we place is one of the ones that is unique to, I think, this map, or the farmer's residence, which we'll be placing down a bit later. I was thinking of doing the same 3 buildings, but I noticed there was some Z-fine between the roof tiles, and Z-fines when 2 textures mix with each other and they start flickering. And I didn't like that at all, so I decided to go for a different building. And I think it actually matches quite perfectly in, especially when we're done decorating it, but that will be much later in the video. first we're gonna put down the bones of our village. We have our little alleyway. The alleyway will be public space for people to traverse quicker. Then you can sit on your back porch there and judge people while they're walking by, judging them on their hairstyles, fashion, or whatever you like to do. Yeah, I'm testing a few fences because there's new ones, and which ones I decided to use for the yards. But before building a yard, I wanted to put down our farmer's plaza, but I made a mistake and closed the entire thing. I thought I could remove pieces of the fence. I cannot, so I have to completely redo it. And here I am just struggling to comprehend that. So here's attempt 2. And I'm also this time going to actually curve around the lake. The lake is the inspiration for the name, obviously, because fontaine is essentially fountain. Yeah, and this is the fountain, the lifeblood of the village. And this time I remember just to leave gaps. This is not the final form of the plaza. It will go a few changes in the future, as you guys will see later in the video. And yeah, I didn't trust this little arch because I was like, it felt way too small, but it was perfect height for a door. I don't know why I thought that, because I mean, I wouldn't model something that wouldn't fit, or would I? I mean, yeah, so it's perfect. This is a more like side entrances for residents, while the other one is like a more main entrance when people are coming for the farmers market itself. Because we're gonna have multiple markets, but this one will be the special one, the centerpiece of the more densely sided of town. I have this tendency to rotate a lot around, and I know it's not the best for YouTube. I'm trying to do it more like other YouTubers where they keep the camera still on what they're building. For me, it's a bit hard. Here we are placing down our little plaza for where the farmer stalls will be housed, if I can put it that way. We use the sand path, which almost looks like another kind of stone or tile, and then we'll surround it with, stone. Oh no, it's stone. Plaza material, whatever that's made of. It's just called plaza in the game. But it also looks like a kind of stone or tiles. And just trying to be a little bit unique and different by putting on these little edges. And now we're going to finally put down our stalls. The one we currently have is the poultry, but I've decided to go with cheese first because cheese is life-saving. It has saved me countless depressing nights just chewing on some brie and crackers with whatever's on the cracker with it. Like some sweet chili sauce of cream cheese on a cracker. Oh, delightful. Yeah, I'm trying to understand why I can't place things on buildings because, I could remember in the demo I could do that. But yeah, it's apparently research we're going to have to unlock. Yeah, I'm continuing to build out the plaza. I was thinking I want to add a curved road that connects to the main plaza, and then the rest will be more plaza. So like the stone connecting to the plaza that connects to the sand via a curve, all those kind of things. But sadly, it did not work out that way, as the curved roads just don't look appealing to me. I have used them in my previous build, and they can look good when you cover them up a little bit. But yeah, I decided just to make everything stone. Just a full-on stone center. It's going to go all the way into the lake as well to almost look like as if it's a quay wall. And our explanation from why the lake is cordoned off or blocked off here is because it may be a deep part of the lake that's not suitable for swimming. Because I'll have parts of the lake open where the public can enjoy themselves. Have a nice braai, or other people call it a barbecue, and just picnicking and all that kind of things. So now I'm just I want to add trees, but I just don't want to put them plainly on the stone, so I added a dirt path, And we're gonna add trees. And I love the trees in this game. They're really beautiful. They really add to the aesthetic of the farming village and, you know, nature and all those kind of things. I love just looking out a window and it's green. But sadly, they do block a lot of good, like, I would say thumbnail shots, screenshots. But yeah, I decided to remove the dirt path and just make it an actual grass patch. I mean, probably be more like a dirt patch than a grass one, but you know, semantics. But we can always change that in future. Nothing is set in stone. I like these tall kind of cypress trees. Love it. Yeah, we're gonna just remove the dirt path in front of the homes because I like to create like a little walkway to the door. And I want some green space for the people to plant whatever they want to plant. Because I really value individual creativity and freedoms. This is the perfect place to do it. Because here you're in a small village and everyone is connected in a way. And that's what I love, because except now for all the gossip that might go around. But I'm a dude, so I'm mostly unaffected by that. But in any way, it's like if you're like the carpenter, the fisher, whatever, you know, people know you as that. And you contribute to the village and you feel important. You're not just part of a gigantic machine that consumes you, spits you out and forgets about you. So that's why I love little village living. But in a beautiful village, not crappy, horrific, depressing one. This is a fairy tale. Yeah, I just did some research and yeah, I'm trying to explain that that's where we're going to put our grapevines because I want to build our grapevines or vineyard on a terraced area. Whether they actually go on terraced areas doesn't matter. I want them to be there. Because I think in my country, we also have large vineyards, and I've seen them being terraced before. Yeah, we're recording off the section of the private land, if you put it that way. And how these houses share the private land is totally up to them. The one in the middle probably loses out the most, but their rent might be cheaper. And if you don't necessarily want to do a lot of land maintenance, you know, yeah, I'm just adding a few trees just for the fun of it because the decorating phase will be a bit later on. Yeah, I'm just placing benches and stuff, which is going to look absolutely horrible. It's fugly as hell. Please ignore this. I'm going to do much better. It's just me testing things out. Even though I played this game quite well, in the demo version, I sort of forgot because it's been a while, you know. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a green patch like the government is, or the city, municipality is like keeping it all lush and green. Yeah, I'm putting down our first warehouse and deciding what fence I'm gonna go for. I want it to match the train because I feel like this is essentially an extension of the train yard or the train station. And once again, I forgot. I have to leave a gap. I had a thought in my head I just wanted to tell you guys now, but I have completely forgot what I wanted to say. Does that happen to you guys a lot as well? I mean, just go in tangents and then just takes like a second or two and then I completely forget what I was going on about. Or what I wanted to actually talk about. Now this warehouse is going to be bane of our existence because there is some logistics in the game and it's far away from the stalls, so we're gonna require a lot more workers to man it. But that's something I'm willing to sacrifice for aesthetics. Sometimes utilitarianism is not the best. Sometimes you do need beauty. So we're gonna finally put our first peeps in their little homes. Although they're not going to be very happy because there's no, you know, street lighting and the other guys at least have got some trees. Now let's man up our little places. As you can see, we're already having problems with our warehouse. Yeah. But at least some of them are serviced now. And luckily we don't have random weirdos standing in front of our station when people come to visit. Now, next up, we have to get the research. The research is super important so we can get more creative. And I just noticed like these foundations on the side that's almost like retaining walls for the building. And I just love that. And I decided to try and put it as close to the cliff as possible to have that retaining walls. Now our research center is completed. And you would see on the logo of the town, you can actually see the, the observatory there in the distance on the cliff. Just so this road is not important, this is just to connect the building while we do our little research. I want to decorate buildings, I want it desperately. And we've got our little fish stall already. Just seeing how far our, how can I put it, range of service goes. I believe in a walkable city. Public transport is nice, but I prefer walking above any kind of other transport. If I can walk to my doctor, to the supermarket, to the farmer's stall, get fresh fruit, do all my things within a 50-minute walk, that is just amazing. That's how it should be. That's how a city or town should be designed. And you can see I also off-centered the fish market a little bit. Just change. Now we're placing down our first farm residence. And I just went ahead and played like 10 seconds just to guess how these things work. But yeah, I didn't know if you add the farmers to the farmers building that they become unusable because they obviously work in the farm. It makes sense. I love the aesthetic. Just quickly pulling the road down just to connect everything. I couldn't get the warehouse to connect to the train station, and I don't know why. But if you attempt of deleting it and placing multiple warehouses along the road, I eventually got it to connect. Here I've already done that. I've skipped it to save you some time. Here making a little bit of a more permanent road, a bit more smooth curve, and the road that we're actually going to use. So yeah, and I didn't know that the crops can be any distance from the home, it doesn't matter, which makes this so much more possible, and I'm so glad it's not strictly connected to the building. Here I'm just showing you guys how it's working, and I noticed there's like a little red area that I can't build in front because I wanted to build a farm area up there, but so yeah, it's not gonna work, so I decided to do this one here, this terraced area, this little hill, whatever. And I just plopped things around because I felt like, because I didn't know what was the distance, and I decided to, well, the distance is actually quite far. But this is from one farm, right? And I was like, I like it when they're all connected, but yeah. So I decided we're going to remove it and redo it. But now we can combine the different farms, crop maximum allowance together to make a beautiful vineyard. I love this. I literally said in the demo I want this, and the game has it. I'm so ecstatic, excited about it. I promise you I can speak English sometimes. And we're just gonna add a little dirt road. I mean, we can use the grass and stuff, but I want like a worn road going through here. You can see the farmers go picking the little grapes to go and stampede on them at the farmhouse or the winery. The winery we won't be adding in this video. I was thinking we can do that in the next video and build a beautiful winery area, like you can go on a wine tour, all those kind of things. Yeah, because I want the winery actually closer to, the vineyard, which will obviously not necessarily impact all the homes, but we can just imagine that. It's not like it's a far walk. Let's do some denaturing because progress. And I couldn't film this area, so I decided this can be like a little area like at the cliff where people can stand and watch over and have a picnic there or whatever. I don't know what you want to do. Sorry, I do add those ones that I lost back in. And while doing this, I do see there's a little problem, so I see the one road isn't connected really well, but I promise we'll fix that in the next video. I just love the way it curves on the hill. So beautiful. This is too steep, I don't think it looks really good, so we'll just continue down here and do some more denaturing. Because we'll be adding a lot of trees back in. I promise you this, the map's gonna have more trees than it ever had before. That's for sure. I love trees. Trees are beautiful. A lot of work when autumn comes, or fall. But you know, it's a sacrifice willing to make for that absolutely gorgeous views that trees give you. Even if you live in a very dense city area, but if you just watch out and you just see trees, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm just giving you guys a small peek of what it looks like without the UI. I'm so happy with this. Now let's just get a market for the farmers themselves to ensure they do have some food, because I don't want to put them in there and they just run away immediately unhappy. You see that I noticed I can't actually implement them, so I had to remove the people from research, but we already hit our maximum amount of research in anyway. Yeah, the game is still trying to explain to me it's far away, it's not efficient, but like, whatever, I don't care. We'll make this work. And I see we need a granary. Now, I've tried placing a granary in many different places, but this is the place it worked the best, and this is not its final place. This is just for functionality for now. It will be moved, don't worry. And finally have our decorations unlocked on our buildings. But I saw I made a mistake. I should have taken the reach of the farm stalls, but yeah. Here I'm adding the next block of homes, because we need more workers to fill that granary and that warehouse. Here we're unlocking all the new things. And I've decided to make this the blue district, or the blue block, like the white block and the blue block, and I decided to go with these homes. I won't be working on them any much more. I'll just be adding a few lights to them, because the people are, you know, so all the families they want lights. And my previous build, I also allotted a lot of ponds and lakes to private property, but this time I'm gonna try to keep them all in public hands. You'll see what I do with the side of these buildings and how I'm gonna issue their little private lands. So I'm only adding the lights here for now, because that's what the people want, and I don't want them to be too unhappy and can just leave or whatever happens when they're unhappy. I'll also be eventually adding street lights, but that will be future. Here I'm planning on their little private areas. So that's all fine and dandy, that's the easy part. And here's the more complicated part, I would say. It's going to be much more slithering little piece of land that they'll have, but it's theirs, you know. It's obviously going to be cheaper. And not everybody likes a big yard. Just a small one where you can maybe grow herbs on the side of your wall, whatever. And yeah, I decided to be a bit more smart about this one and do a little curve here. So they do have a little bit of land for their own without touching the the pond. And giving them multiple access points to their yard and to the alleyway. I'm just going to block this off so they can use the in-between space, which is much more than the other buildings previously, so that they can use this as extra place to grow things or do whatever things they would be doing in there. Here we're going to add our next block of homes. At first, I didn't want to add homes here because it was so close to the train station or the railway, but because I want the railway to be open for everyone. Here I'm going for blue, almost looks purple, but it's probably blue. I've been told I'm colorblind. You can correct me on what color this is. It does look like a blue. It's a blue with a purplish hue to it. So I'm not going to put them directly next to the railway. I'll have some separation. Now we've got more people to add to our ever-growing demand. We just need one more worker. You can already see them T-posing there on the balcony. Absolutely cute. And it's cordon of this private property as well. I'm trying to get them up to go up the cliff so that people are discouraged from entering their private property. But you know, this is a little farming village. The crime should be very low. Everybody knows everybody. That's also a nice thing about these kind of places. And in my idyllic dream village, everybody helps, you know. You know someone, they can get you a job, helping the youth, cultivating. What I would like to also see in this village, instead of like a school, a mentorship. Before I go on with that thought, here I'm trying to explain that these houses are going to have to decide how they divide the land between them. Because I'm not going to put a fence there, because it's going to look stupid. Okay, so yeah, this is just a protection barrier. Okay, what I say? Yeah, apprenticeship. You go to the winery, you apply there, and they, from the age of 18 or whatever, 16, they train you how to become a winer. A winer? Someone that works at the winery, how to make wine, all those kind of things. The farming, the whole bit really adds to the community. Here we are finally redoing the plaza for the last time. Yeah, I'm even going more into depth on the curves and stuff. And I'm also expanding it to be a bit bigger, to be more grand. Because this area is going to service the whole dense part of town. Continue my thought. So, yeah, if you're going to go apply to the carpenter and they train you to be a carpenter, and you don't need experience because you're going to learn it. Not every time you need 20 years of experience to do something. You don't need a college degree to be a carpenter, you know. It's useful skills to have. Trade skills are so useful. Instead, it's sort of vanishing in our day and time. Yeah, I'm adding a little curved wall just to be fancy. Well, it's sort of a curved wall. Yeah, I'm adding another big gate because this could be an entrance to more where the shops might be. Like the Hatter and the clothing store. The sweatshop. Now, I finally decided we can start decorating the homes. Yeah, I'm just going to speed up a little bit because I spent quite a while making each home unique as I can anyway, with the current things that we do have. I like putting the lights at the top of the roof there, top of the ceiling, wall, whatever you would call it, that part of the home, like at the tippity top of the triangle, because it works really well. I'm going to put one lamppost in the middle of the alleyway. I feel that's like sufficient lighting for the homes. Now we can naturify, bushify everything. And this person just likes their bushes. They like cultivating their little beautiful bushes. They add a little small tree there that I keep trimmed. This is like their little passion. And they're all about the colored flowers. Don't ask me how they manage those things. They just probably like... Oh, they could just probably pull it up, and they have some rose bushes, I would like to believe, at the back. And they could even sell these roses to like the local market. Oh, they do sell them at the local market. We're definitely gonna have to put a bench that stays right onto the lake. Come on, how can we not? Just imagine having your morning coffee or like your hot chocolate at night, staring over the farmer's market and the lake. Oh, and the moon just shining on the waters. Ah. I wish. I'm gonna make this person a sunflower freak. They just love their sunflowers, this family. The sunflower family. And they have 2 benches because they got a lot of kiddos. And they might be the person that harvests seeds and sells sunflower seeds, you know? Without being commercially, just like as a little side hustle. You have a little bit problem with the cycling and the rotating. I mean, sunflowers are also very beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Especially if there's like big tall ones just standing in a random field. I must put down another kind of flower that would have been totally messed up the aesthetic. Just to continue decorating the little balconies. The person clearly loves random colored flowers. The one thing I didn't place them there or didn't like it because you could see the Z fine. Maybe that's something they can change in the future. I mean, the game is in early access, so I think that's quite possible that they will. I was like to think some of these things are like little trees that carry fruits and little spices, like little planters that's got some kind of parsley, and maybe they're growing leeks or tomatoes, you know. Everybody contributes. I wanted to see if I can actually put plants on the roofs, and I can. In this house I will do it. They're kind of special. I mean, they probably just climb on the little fence on the side of the balcony and then they pull themselves onto the roof. And I was like, maybe I can put flowers on top of the chimneys and stuff. And I do try that to a certain extent, but I just didn't like the options that was given, like this one. It just felt a bit silly, so I left it out. The one thing you're going to be sure you're going to be able to see in the dark, you're not going to walk in absolute darkness. Maybe further off in the village. And here's what I'm talking about, the spices. These little things, I feel like they're like the spice kind of planter. Growing their little herbs. And the public allows them to use these little spaces against their houses, as long as they don't obstruct the alleyway itself. Here we can just have an easy look of what we have accomplished on this side of the block. And now on to the next one, and it's nighttime. Let's remove those horrible arrangement of benches. You see, these people are all farmers by trade. And you know why this one got sunflowers? Because the other one sold them or their best friends and gave them some free sunflowers. Isn't that nice of them? In fact, I'm gonna make this person do it like that one. Is a Sunny, the crazy sunflower lady. This is the crazy bushman with his little trees. First time using the move tool, but an amazing tool. I don't know. He grows some kind of black currants or some sort of, I don't know, some sort of cherries or something in those trees. This tree might be a bit too close to this home, but you know, it works. It's okay. It just ruffles the towels a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna be keeping it more like as if it's unkept. Like this person doesn't really care about looking after their yard as much as others. So that's why so many bushes. They just let the bushes grow a bit wild, but not too wild, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna put a new seating arrangement, and it's gonna look so much better. Yeah, doesn't that just look 10 times better than our previous one? Just like a little tree for some shade. Gonna Can have a little picnic under these trees. Ah, fantasmio. This person loves the yellow flower bushes. They cultivate them. I was like, ooh, look at this new thing they added. Sadly, I couldn't put more, you know, on the other sides. And now we're doing the back sides of these homes. I was hoping I could get those little, you know, where the roof, so I could get more of those ribbon kind of flowers, but sadly not. And yeah, the one person asked the other person if they're allowed to spread their yellow flower bushes, and they were like, yeah, but this person's like, no. Only my little trees are allowed here. You know, whatever fruit he's collecting from this is probably selling there at the market. And just to make it a little bit more realistic and not too, you know, as if this is a simulation kind of place, is we're just putting them some road decay. Like the ground path isn't being used as much as you would think, and so some of the grass has started to reclaim the dirt road. I want to live here. Guys, let's all move here. Now we're adding the fruit stall and the veggie stall. Because I mean, we've got a lot of people now already cultivating things at their home. It won't be a massive supply, but yeah. Let's add some lamp posts. And here I decided how am I going to measure it. I'm using the first inner circle to more or less guess where to put the lights. It took me quite a while, so I skipped. Because I wanted it to be pinpoint perfect, but not perfect. Guys, we are nearing the end of this video. Thank you so much for chilling here and vibing with me, building an idyllic farming village. This is just the first part of many to come. So please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for the next part. Thank you so much. Here is a more thematic view of our beautiful farming village. Enjoy. Again, thank you so much. Have a wonderfully epic day. Cheers.